Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as you are all aware, it is Friday, so it's my upload day. Yeah, so today's video is going to be a review of my time seeing JJ from Union J in Beauty and the Beast in Newcastle. So I thought that I'd do it in the form of a Q&A like I do with quite a few of my other reviews that I've done in the past. Quite a few of the questions are about JJ, but I have also added some about like the cast and about the actual show itself. So yeah, because it is a review of the show, not just of JJ, but obviously of the whole show and the whole cast. So yeah, I think I'm just going to get started because there are about 12 questions that I got sent, so yeah. Okay, so question number 1. What was your favourite part of seeing Beauty and the Beast? I think my favourite thing about it was that I've never actually seen Beauty and the Beast before as a pantomime. Like, I have obviously seen like the classics, so Cinderella, Aladdin, Jack and the Beanstalk, Sleeping Beauty. Did I say Aladdin? Peter Pan. I've seen all of them. Snow White, but I'd never seen it as a pantomime itself, so I was very intrigued as to what it would be like as a pantomime. I've seen pantomimes all my life, ever since I was about 6 years old. I used to be absolutely petrified of them, hated like all of the pyros, I hated the baddies, and yeah, I was a wimp. But I definitely think like ever since I've got older and I've been to more and I've been to concerts and things which have like massive pyro, like I think I've just got, in a way I've got used to it. I mean, I still jump. I still jumped every single time the fairy came out on stage because I was expecting it because I could see her from where I was sat the first time in the wings, so I knew it was coming, so I could prepare myself. But they weren't that loud the first time round because I was lucky enough to see the show twice. I don't know why, but I liked it the first time round, and our seats were good the first time round. Like, we were front row right at the end, but being like right at the end, it's a bit, I don't know, it's just not great, I think. I've been right at the end before for pantos, and I don't know why I booked them because they were good seats, don't get me wrong, but it took JJ quite a while to actually spot me in the audience because I think the side seats are quite well hidden, so I can almost understand why he couldn't spot me. So yeah. And then the second time round, one of the cast members called Charlie, he said that if we wanted tickets, then you can email him and you get them at a bit of a cheaper rate to what the tickets on the actual site were. So we just said where we'd want to be sat, and he would check the availability and then let us know if we could get them. And he got us 2 seats in second row, but we were like closer to the middle, and I preferred them seats. Like, they were so good and I was so happy with them. And yeah, it was just nice, like, to just see this show from a different perspective. And like, half of the action would happen like in the middle of the stage, so you wouldn't have to like peer round. Like, in these seats you could literally just look at the stage, and it was better. in my opinion, it was better. And I did find the jokes a bit funnier the second time round, and to the point where I was howling and crying with laughter at some of the moments. But I will talk about them a bit later on, because there is a question about like the funniest moments and everything. So yeah. But I just love panto, like the slapstick comedy. Just everything about panto is just so magical, and yeah, it brings out the big kid in me, definitely. Like, I love it. I really do. So, question number 2. What was JJ's reaction to your tattoo? So, if you don't know, I now have a tattoo which JJ kindly wrote for me on and then sent it to me on the Tuesday, so the day before I was meant to be seeing him. And on the Wednesday morning, we went to get my tattoo done, and it was great. I highly recommend Northside Tattoos in Newcastle, especially if it's the first one, because I found that the person who did mine was very, very reassuring and made sure that I was very happy with it. Like, kept on moving the position round to make sure that it was in a place that I wanted. And yeah, because at the end of the day, you're spending quite a bit of money and you've got to make sure it's perfect. Like, you can't just have something that you're not happy with because you're spending money on it. So I was obsessed with it when I got it done, and I still am. Like, I absolutely love it. I do not regret it one bit. Like, I really don't. And yeah, it's just, and his reaction, I just remember waiting by stage door and I was like, that's it, I'm telling him I got it done. And I did. I told him, I said, I got the tattoo this morning. And he said, oh, cool, can you show me? So I showed him, and he was blown away by it. He absolutely loved it just as much as I did. And I don't know, it just feels weird knowing that I have his handwriting on my arm now forever. Like, it feels good. I'm so happy with it. So yeah. And then he tried to take a photo of it, which turned out to be blurry, but we sorted it out, and yeah, it was lovely. And I'm just happy that I did decide to get a tattoo, because I've always wanted one for years, and I've always thought I would be the type of person to chicken out, but when it came to it, because it was only like a small one, it didn't take that long to do, and yeah, so it was fine. Question number 3. What did you think about JJ being the Beast/Prince? I liked it. I did. I was a bit unsure about him as the Beast first time. I don't know, I was a bit like, will he be able to come across as like, not scary, but like moody and like quite, not, I don't know, quite bad really, because the Beast is portrayed as the villain when we all know who the true villain is. But like in the film, you grow to love the Beast, and JJ did not disappoint. Like, to the point where I actually jumped out my skin the first time I saw it. Because that mask was quite, I don't know, it was a cool mask, but it was still a bit like intimidating if you're a kid, I guess. But he was so good, like all of the singing, the acting, and what I love about JJ is I do think, because now he's done quite a few pantos, I definitely see him growing in confidence in the pantos, and I definitely think this one in particular, he shone, like, he was just amazing, like, blew me away vocally. Like, he's just so good. I do think though, sorry if you're watching JJ, but you need to work on your dancing a bit. It was, when I saw him go to dance, I was a bit like, oh no, oh no. But yeah, he was amazing as the Beast. But you didn't really get to see a lot of him as the Prince. So it was more towards the end where he obviously gets transformed from the Beast back to the Prince because he falls in love. And I think they could have done something a bit better with the transformation, just because it was very simple. Like, I get they might not have had a massive budget, but I was expecting some sort of like proper pyro. I know they had like is it a CO2 cannon thing? But I was just expecting a bit more, to be honest. Like, I think I would have rather have had something. Maybe they could have. I don't know how they would have done it, but maybe they could have incorporated the 3D effect into that or something. I don't know. It was a bit. I don't know what to say. Like, I liked it, but it was just very simple. Compared to like other stuff I've seen before, it was very simple. But yeah, as the Beast, he just came across as the true gentleman. Um, there were lots of lines about Union J and about being in a boy band, and I was just there for it. I was just like, this is great. And obviously, he did sing Carry You as part of the finale, which I knew about, I knew was happening. But before then, I hadn't heard any of Union J sing a Union J song in like 4 or 5 years, so it was quite weird to actually hear a Union J song, but absolutely amazing, and I loved it. I was living my best life. Yeah, I just loved him as the Beast and the Prince, I really did. I do think, in a way, I preferred him as the Beast, I want to say. I don't know. Because, like I said, he wasn't the Prince for a long time, and yeah. But he was good as the Prince, don't get me wrong, but I just preferred him as the Beast because I just liked seeing him as something different, because all the time, like, boy band members are in Panto, they are the Prince, they're not necessarily the Beast, which I thought was just beautiful. And the songs that he did in that show were all stunning. If I could have them as a recorded version, I would, because they were beautiful. Really, really beautiful. And I think I am going to say it because I did delete the question, but my standout performance from the actual panto itself was either Rewrite the Stars with Belle, because that was stunning, that was beautiful, or Somebody to Love, because JJ got a high note, okay? A high note, which I wasn't expecting. And when I first heard it, I just looked at my friend Helen and was like, oh my god. And I was so happy that he pulled it off and absolutely smashed it. Like, I was so proud. And when I got to hear it again, I was just like so excited. Yeah, it was top quality. So, question number 4. What was the funniest moment in the panto? Okay, so I have 3. Yeah, I've got like a top 3. So I'm gonna say, as number 3, the scene between Charlie, who was David Granola, Anton de Burke, and the 2 backing singers doing the I Believe in Miracles, is it? Yeah, I Believe in Miracles. as a song, him teaching it, and it was so funny. Just like classic, like just punchline after punchline after punchline, like that was just so funny, and I was crying my eyes out the second time round with laughter because it was just perfection. I loved it. But the second one, I will say the Bake Off scene between Lewis, aka Dame Brenda Brexit, and Charlie's character again. Like, them two just had such a good on stage, what's the word I'm looking for? Connection. Like, they just bounced off each other. Like, they were so funny together, and their comedic timing was just on point. I loved it. And it was typical, like, throwing stuff out in the audience, and I got covered in stuff twice, because the first time there was a joke about getting the ingredients because they wanted to bake, was it a rocky road for the beast or something? And ingredients turned out to be greedy ants. So I was sat directly opposite the stairs, and I could see him come to the top of the stairs, and I was like, oh no. And he threw it all over me. I don't really know what it was, because I didn't really check, but it was still like, oh no. And then they brought out water pistols, as you do in a pantomime. Like, that's just a thing that the audience get wet. Like, that's just a funny thing. And I got drenched the first time round, and then the second time round I literally got pelted in the face with water, and it just went everywhere. And then I also got thrown raisins all over me as rabbit droppings, I think. And then my favourite, funniest moment of the whole show was the scene between Charlie's character again and the Beast, where they have a conversation. Well, not a conversation, but they had one of them, and then Charlie's character would lip sync to songs that were linked with what the Beast was saying, and I've seen scenes like that throughout my whole life, and every single time I just cry with laughter, and I absolutely love it. So whenever there's a scene like that in a panto, I'm very happy. So yeah. So question number 5. What was the atmosphere like at the 2 shows since you went to more than one? I'll say that the atmosphere was better at the first show, and that was because it was during the Christmas holidays and there were a lot of school groups in, so it was a lot louder, there were a lot more cheering, and I think the second show was still good. Like, in a way I did prefer the second show, but the atmosphere wasn't quite there, I think, because it wasn't exactly full. So yeah, but it was still good, and I definitely liked the difference. So I was still loud, obviously, because it's me, and we did get a shout out from Charlie as well, which was nice. Question number 6. Am I missing a question? Oh no, I'm not. Question number 6. What did you think to the panto cast? I loved them. Like, I just think Lewis was absolutely hilarious. He cracked me up. The costumes that he had in the show, especially, I'm going to say it, the McDonald's one and Wonder Woman, were just hilarious. Absolutely hysterical. Charlie's character was just, he had so much energy, and he was just hilarious. Like, I think out of all of the cast, he was definitely the funniest. And yeah, I was in fits of laughter every time he was on stage. JJ, I've already said, like, standout performance. Like, how can he not be? Because he was the main reason for me booking the tickets. But yeah, top quality, JJ, top quality. Amel as Fairy Sugar Babe. Now, I have been a fan of the Sugar Babes for ages. Like, they were one of the very first girl bands that I listened to when I was about 8, and I loved them. I loved their songs, and I just loved them. And when I saw she was in it as well, I was like, oh my god. And her singing voice was amazing. She was so good. Her voice just blew me away. She was just lovely, and I loved her. She did really well. Then you had Mickey as Anton de Burke. He was hilarious, and whenever I go to a panto, I love the baddies. Like, I'm all here for the baddies. I just love them, and he was hilarious. I found him really funny, and I just loved any scene with him and the other cast members. Like, so good. And then obviously Beth as Belle. She had a great singing voice. Like, she blew me away, and her acting was top quality. And yeah, just fantastic cast. Really, really good. Really funny. So yeah, highly recommend. Question number 7. Were there any special effects? There weren't many. In comparison to other pantomimes that I've seen, there weren't very many at all. But there was a 3D sequence with ghosts, a spider, and a hand, which I'll say now, the first time the 3D glasses were not great, and I just don't think it worked that well. But the second time round, I found the 3D a lot better. I found it more interactive, and I found I jumped a lot more the second time round than I did the first. And I just thought the 3D glasses were a lot better, like the quality. So yeah, but in comparison to like other 3Ds I've seen, it was good, but it wasn't. I've got to be truthful because it is a review. Like, it wasn't great, I'm not gonna lie, but it was funny. Like, seeing all the other audience members' reactions, like, that's what I live for. Question number 8. I love this question. What was it like reuniting with JJ after so long? Oh, it was so nice. Like, I met him, oh god, how many times? 4 times? The past 2 times I saw him. Yeah, 4 times, and I got about 10 hugs, I want to say. And it was just so lovely. Like, just chatting about tour, about just the show in general, and yeah, it was just lovely. And just getting to see him again actually in person, because other times I know I've chatted on Cameo, and that is face to face, but actually seeing him in the flesh was just so nice. And yeah, and then having, was it Lewis? Yeah, Lewis coming up to me outside the stage door and just saying, you do know JJ has absolutely loved seeing you. And that just made me smile. Like, hearing that from another cast member, like, it's just so cute. And yeah, I loved seeing him again. It was so nice, and yeah, so cute. Did you meet any other cast members? Yes, I did. So on the second time we saw the show, we went to the theatre in the morning to see if we could see any of the cast arrive, and I saw Lewis arrived, had a little chat with him, which was nice. Had a chat with Charlie the first time I saw the show. And then on the second time I saw the show, I managed to have a selfie with Amel and have a little chat with her, and she was so lovely, and she saw me in the audience again and gave me interactions, which was so cute. And I never said about the interactions I got off JJ. So the first time I saw the show, JJ saw me right at the end as I waved, and he waved back and gave me a thumbs up, and we both blew kisses at each other, and it was just really cute. And I nearly forgot to show this again. What am I like? So he also signed my programme. I don't know how well it's going to show up, which says Lucy love you loads, JJ. And then the second time I didn't want to get another programme, so he signed my ticket, which just says love you, JJ, and it's just cute with a kiss. Yeah, loved it. Question number 9. How was your tattoo experience? I didn't think it was that bad. I really didn't. Like, it didn't hurt. It was all right. Like, I was a bit nervous before on the actual day, but it just felt like I was being scratched. Like, it wasn't bad, and because it was only a small one, it didn't take long to do. So I think, because for your first tattoo you don't want something huge, so yeah, it was fine. Yeah, didn't hurt. Question number 10. What made you get Amaze Me as a tattoo? Well, music's always been very important to me. Like, if I'm feeling pretty rubbish or a bit shit, I'll just listen to music and it'll cheer me back up again. I don't know, like, I've always wanted like a song lyric or a song title tattooed on me, and Uni and J obviously have been a huge part of my life as like a teenager, and now that they're back, obviously, like my adult life as well. Like, I've supported them from the very beginning, so since day one, on X Factor, and then Amaze Me has always been my favourite song for years, and it just means a lot to me. Like, I love a good ballad, and Amaze Me is just one of them ballads that's just cute. Like, it's just a cute song, and I love it. So, and then I obviously wanted JJ to do it because he's my favourite, obviously. Like, he's just been there for me for so long, and I wouldn't want anyone else to do it, to be honest. So, yeah, that's what made me get it. Question number 11. Would you go again to the Tiny Theatre to see another pantomime? Depending on the cast, yes. I am already tempted to go back and see Peter Pan, because I've seen Peter Pan before as a panto quite a few times, and I just love it. I think Peter Pan is one of them ones that doesn't get enough recognition as a panto, and it's just so good. So definitely think I'll probably be going back this Christmas or early next year. So yeah. And finally, question number 12. How do you feel about being JJ's Amaze Me girl? Yeah, so now this I never ever thought would be a reality. Like, so when I met JJ on the Tuesday, yeah, I told him that I'd got front row tickets and meet and greet for Newcastle for tour, which is basically the opener night. And I said to him, as I've now got front row, does that mean I could be your Amaze girl? And he just looked at me, smiled, and said, of course you can. Like, that to me means so much. Like, I know a lot of fans say it, but genuinely, I have always wanted to do it. It's just always been something that I'd want to do. Like, it just seems so much fun. And I mean, it probably will be quite nerve-wracking, but I feel like JJ will look after me and make it the best moment of my life. And I definitely think it will be. So yeah, I I don't want to say it, but I do think I'll sing if I get given the mic. I think. I'm not making any promises now, but I do think I would. Yeah, it's just, it does mean a lot, and it's something I've wanted ever since I found out it was a thing, and ever since they said that for this tour they are bringing them back, and yeah, it just means so much. So yeah, thank you JJ if you're watching. But anyway, that was all of the questions for today's video. I really hope you all enjoyed it. I want to say sorry now for the fact that I didn't vlog, just because you can't film the show. I mean, I did sneakily film the finale, but I guess that's okay. No one's told me off. Yeah, so I definitely think that my Union J Tour vlog will be the best vlog I've ever done. Hopefully. It will be a lot of fun. Hopefully there'll be a lot of content, because the panto vlog, I didn't get enough content and I just didn't think it would be worth just being a short vlog, so I didn't do it in the end. But that's why I did this video, to give my honest opinion on Beauty and the Beast. But anyway, this was Redhead Boo's review of Beauty and the Beast at Newcastle. If you did enjoy this video, please do not forget, like, comment and subscribe, turn on the bell and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. But for now, this is Redhead Boo signing off. Bye!